let it ride easy down the road.
Hey folks, this is Matt Waldron here with another episode of Random Questions live from the LAPC. We're here with John-Robert-Bellande of poker fame and now Survivor China fame. All right, John-Robert, you've got a pretty interesting life, and it all started with a pretty interesting upbringing. What can you tell me about that?
I actually grew up overseas. I was born in New York, but when I was 5 years old, my family went to Taiwan, and I went to like private schools, American schools, international schools until I was 17. And when I moved back to the States for college, and I've been in LA for about 15 years. Very recently, last year, I've been living in Las Vegas.
All right. Now, random questions are a little bit different. Don't expect anything too serious. Just open your mind up and let it rock.
All right,
That's all we got.
Let's try.
All right. Can you tell me, what will you be doing 20 years from now?
20 years from now?
20 years from now.
100%. I will be playing poker 20 years from now. Probably playing a lot of tournament poker, but I just can't see my life feeling fulfilled without cards in it. I just love this game, and I hope that I'm doing it all the way till I'm 80.
Right. Good stuff. Now, the next question here is sheep, friend or foe?
Sheep.
Sheep.
Friend.
All right. Now, if you had a favorite cartoon character growing up, what was it?
Wow. Favorite cartoon character? I'm going to say it's Superman.
Superman? That's a good way to go. If you're not playing cards for a living, what would you be doing?
If I was not playing cards, I'd for sure be promoting clubs or owning a club. I did that before I started playing cards. I loved it. I was very good at it. And basically lived the same kind of lifestyle that I do as a card player. You know, going out every night and having fun, hanging out with friends, meeting beautiful women. But, cards, I'm able to do this with playing cards, and for sure I would be back promoting clubs or owning clubs if I wasn't playing cards.
Good deal. What's your favorite club you've been to so far, worldwide?
Ooh, worldwide, I gotta say, Trist is one of my favorite clubs in the world. That's Trist at the Win. Over here, this week, I was out with Joe Cassidy and Dave Williams and the boys. We went to Goa. It's a new club here in Hollywood. I mean, can't beat that. The place is great. One of these places that, basically impossible to get into. They show us poker guys a little love. It's really like we're rock stars now. It's crazy. You go out and you get the same treatment as the celebrities. So, this poker thing's great, I tell you.
Not too bad. Now, UFOs and aliens, fact or fiction?
UFOs and aliens.
I told you we're going to get all over the place.
Definite fiction.
Definite fiction. No belief whatsoever. No Roswell, nothing like that.
Fact or fiction?
Fact or fiction, yeah. Fiction. No, it's a good answer. Now, if you got deported, tossed out in the United States, they said you can't come back, where would you go?
Ooh, I would go to Prague.
Prague?
About 5 years ago, I wanted to take a break from Los Angeles. I went to Prague for 1 month, and I loved it so much. I stayed there for 7 months. I thought about not moving back here. I love Prague.
I've heard beautiful things.
Oh, it's great.
Was it the women, the booze, or just the whole atmosphere?
Oh, man, it's the atmosphere, the attitude. People are just so warm and friendly there. It's fantastic. After that, probably Australia, but Prague for sure, #1.
Good deal, good deal. Now, 15 years later, they say, John-Robert, we made a mistake. You're obviously very innocent here. You can come back. Would you come back?
Absolutely. I love the States. I love America. I love LA. I love nightlife. Love Hollywood. Love Las Vegas.
Beautiful stuff. So, tell me about who you think the most influential person in your life is.
It's got to be me. There's whenever I screw up or play too high for cash that I have, or it's basically me that's responsible. When I do really good stuff and help people out and everything, it's who I am. So for sure, nobody influences me like I do.
Building on that line, if you had $1 million and you had to spend it in 24 hours on one person, and all of it had to go on something, who would it be, and what would you spend it on?
if I had to spend $1 million on one person, it would have to be my little brother. This guy's just a rock. You know. He doesn't need it. He's very successful. Went to MIT. You know, the whole thing. Got the family and all in New York. But you know, he and his family are like they're basically my closest family. My parents passed away in recent years, and yeah, without any thought, it would go to my little brother.
You want to give him a shout out?
Hey, what's up, Reggie? Yeah.
That's all ready to go. How do you take your coffee?
How do I take my coffee? With 4 creams and 5 sugars.
4 creams and 5 sugars.
And every time I say it, somebody at my poker table comments, 5 sugars, man. I don't know if it's a Haitian thing. That's where my family's from originally. But we like it sweet. And there was a lot of sugar cane in Haiti, so, man, I love it sweet. And actually, whenever somebody takes a sip of my coffee, they love it.
I think there's just not enough people try it. I use whole cream. I use whole whipping cream at home. And people think I'm nuts until they do it themselves. And they're like,
yeah.
It's a beautiful thing.
I don't think I could do the whole whipping cream.
By the way, we roll past PG-13 here. It's very open, kind of like Poker Road and the guys here. So just open it up. Have as much fun as you want with this. You a sports fan?
Yes.
Right. If you have one favorite sports team in the entire world of all time, which one is it?
Los Angeles Lakers.
LA Lakers. Favorite athlete
For
of
sure.
all time?
Wow. Well, my favorite person in professional sports is Dr. Jerry Buss. I love that guy. And he plays cards with us a lot. And anytime I want to go to a Laker game, I just ring up Jerry and say, hey, we'd like to come to the game. And he's always so just friendly. Like he said, yeah, sure, Robert, come down, bring a friend. And we go up in his box and kick it. I love Dr. Buss and I love the Lakers.
That's a beautiful thing. I can't tell you. When I was here, all I got was seats to Clipper games. And you know what? It was the year they went nuts, and I sat there and I laughed at people who, went down on the Clippers. But you got to love the A-grade treatment in LA at the Lakers. Is there any other better A treatment in any city, do you think?
Love it. The Lakers. Lakers.
All right. Now, what do you do to keep yourself entertained on a long drive, specifically?
It's interesting that you say that. Because really, we'd love to be playing online poker in the passenger seat. Seriously, we've dialed in so that we're able to plug in the computer, do the broadband. We have different size computers that we'll do that with. But somehow we do the Vegas LA trip a lot. Somehow it's like we always plan on doing it, but it doesn't really happen. The drive goes by pretty quickly. It's 3.5 hours, basically 4 hours.
Not too bad.
Yeah.
What's your favorite online game?
Deuce to 7 triple draw. Deuce to 7 triple draw. That's like one of the newer. Well, it's been around for a while, but it's become a lot more popular recently. Basically, the worst hand in poker wins. So the absolute worst hand in poker is Deuce 3, 4, 5, 7, and if you make that hand, that's the nuts in that game, and that's my favorite game. Maybe it's because I never catch cards.
Do you think this year's World Series, the Deuce to 7 triple draw 5,000 rebuy, has often been thought of as a pinnacle event outside of the course championship, of course,
right,
for top pros? Do you think you'll see a lot more people trying to dig in and get their money in this year?
It's interesting that you asked that question, Matt, because it's actually not a triple draw. The 5,000 buy-in with multiple rebuys, it's a single draw.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
And it plays similar to the triple draw, but there's only one draw, so your starting hand qualifications are a lot higher. I think that game is like the ultimate poker game. I don't know the game that well. I've only played it like 5 or 6 times, but I love it. I mean, it just involves every asset of quality poker. So much of like old school, just reading other players, getting a feel for do they have it, recognizing other chip stacks, because when you're making moves on people, you have to be aware of how big is their stack or how big is your stack compared to it, and do they have fold equity. The mathematics, everything about poker is involved in that Deuce to 7 no limit. I really think that is the ultimate. Whoever wins that is like a true poker player. Love it.
Well, good luck if you go up for it this year.
Oh, I like my chances.
All right. Now, coming up a little bit more here. When you were 8 years old, you're in Taiwan. What was your favorite thing to do?
Ooh. I used to ride my bike. I had a little BMX, and we'd just go around just doing wheelies and doing stunts. I mean, I thought I was like the world's greatest. I thought I was great until I saw people in these X Games thing. I'm like, is that possible? People do on motorcycles now the stuff I was doing on my bike. It's crazy. Doing backflips on a motorcycle.
It is a little bit nuts, without a doubt. Now, you have a choice between pocket aces pre-flop and hold'em and a 15-out draw on the flop. Which one do you want?
So interesting that you mentioned that exact hand, because last week in a cash game, I played a $70,000 pot where I had 2 aces and both other guys had the open-ended straight draw. One had a higher open-ended straight draw than the other one. One had the high end, one had the middle end. And we got it all in there. And of course, I lost the pot. But I was basically about even money to win the pot at that point, because I'm up against both of them. Against either of them, I'm a big favorite. But 15 outs or aces after the flop?
Pocket aces pre-flop, 15 outs on the flop.
Well, you know, your question, you have to be a little bit more specific, because pocket aces pre-flop, I can still do some maneuvering to maybe take down the pot right there. With 15 outs on the flop, you know, you're still leaving things to chance. With aces, I can, you know, maybe, you know, shove my elbow in there and take it down right there.
That's the question that tries to dig at the psyche. Which would you prefer to have? The aces pre-flop to do that maneuvering, or the 15 outs afterwards to work your mojo post-flop?
Okay, good. I got you.
There we go.
I want the aces. I want to take it down. I only want to gamble if I have to.
Right.
You know, I'll take it down if I can get some good equity. I'll take a small pot now instead of gambling a big pot and flip it. I feel like whenever I play a big pot, I don't fare too well if the odds are barely in my favor.
Good deal. Now, what's the weirdest thing you've ever seen on the side of the road?
The weirdest thing. You do ask some funny questions.
They are random.
I've definitely done some weird things on the side of the road. I'm trying to think of the weirdest thing.
Supplement one of those stories if you want.
Yeah. I may have had a girl I was seeing. Do I really want to talk? Yeah. I may have had a girl that I was seeing drop me off at the airport one time, and after I got my ticket, we had like 45 minutes to spare. Might have just drove around the airport and, you know, had a nice little time on the side of the road and made it back in time for my flight barely. That may or may not have happened, but
I think we get it. We're okay. We're with you on that one. What is the weirdest place you've ever played poker for money?
You see your face?
Weirdest place.
Who is it?
Probably
Anybody that we know? I mean, is it like a comedian?
20,000 feet up in the air. We play a lot of Chinese poker when we're flying, so I don't know if that's that weird of a place, but I know that flight attendants definitely think it's pretty funny when we're throwing around a few $1,000s on a flight and enjoying it.
Is it a commercial flight?
Yeah, on a commercial flight. I remember I beat David Pham out of $5,000 on a flight, and he was so happy to pay me because it was tripping the stewardess out. I mean, she was like, "Are you guys serious?"
Did you get her number?
It was a $150 flight, and she did come hang out with us that trip. It was funny. we were going to Oakland. It was a couple of years ago, and she definitely came and hung out with us. She was like very wowed by the whole poker thing.
Speaking of Oaktown and up around Sacramento and his hometown, are you coming up to Bay 101?
I believe I am going to go there. I haven't decided 100%, but I love Matt Savage to death. He runs the tournament up there, and I know he's got a little charity event that he's doing. I may go play in that as well. And I'm going to try and see if I can fit that in my schedule. I would like to play that game.
Well, it's my backyard. We'll see you there.
I enjoy that tournament. It's a lot of fun.
All right, last couple things. What's worse, bestiality or slow rolling?
Ooh. Yeah, I'll tell you what, it's definitely close. It's definitely close. Yeah, I'm a big, what do you call it? I really don't like slow rolling. But I'll tell you a great story about slow rolling.
All right.
When I was in Prague, we were playing poker with a guy named Milan. Milan's like an old school gangster, old man. You know, I'm able to like mess with him a little bit because I've been playing with him for a month or so, and we became friendly. But you really don't want to mess with Milan. He's like, but over there, took me a while to find out that slow rolling is just part of their game. That's part of their entertainment, and to stop getting upset when they slow roll because that's part of the enjoyment they get out of it. And it's not like it is here. Slow rolling is like completely rude and brutal, and you shouldn't do it. But over there, that's part of the game. So finally, I got into it. Well, Milan would slow roll me, slow roll me, slow roll me, and I still wouldn't do it. And one day, I'm like, I'm going to teach this guy a lesson. I backdoored into a king high flush, and I put the last raise in. And finally, Milan called me. And after doing some ha, and I made it seem like he made a good call, and then I turned over the king high flush, like showing off, right? and he's like, he basically throws a little fit, like, how can you do this with the king high flush? And then he turned over the ace high flush. I mean,
You got re-roll.
I backdoored into the king high flush, and then he has the ace high flush. Not only was he slow rolling, he smooth called me just so that he could get me with another slow roll. He has the nuts. He has to re-raise, but he just wanted to slow roll me. But you understand what I'm saying? I mean, it was the funniest thing ever, and I can just remember a friend of mine, Jeff Lysander, saying, you know what, John-Robert, when the key to slow rolling is first you have to have the best hand.
What game do you play with Czech gangsters?
What game? We were playing No Limit Hold'em.
There we go. It's a beautiful thing. All right. Now the next part is the lightning round. This lightning round is you're now in a situation where you have to play heads up for your entire roll with one of the two people that we're about to put here in front of you. All right?
Okay.
You have to pick one person or another. You can tell me why, or you can just get the name. That's all good.
All right.
We're going to start this off because it's an election year here. Hillary Clinton or Barack Obama?
I would rather play poker with Hillary Clinton.
All right.
And I'll tell you why. Because I would enjoy beating her more than I'd enjoy beating Obama.
Fair enough. Godzilla or King Kong?
I'm going to take Godzilla for the same reason.
You'd enjoy beating him?
I enjoy beating Godzilla more than King Kong, yeah.
Fair
I
enough.
sympathize with King Kong.
Yeah.
Right?
He was just trying to hang out, pick up some women. He shot him in the face.
There you go.
That's the one. Gandhi or Mother Teresa?
I would rather play Mother Teresa, but this time for a completely different reason. I just don't think she'd have any shot. I mean, just she'd be easy to read. She would light up when she'd look down at aces, and I'd know I could get rid of my hand. Yeah, Mother Teresa.
Kobe Bryant or Jerry Buss?
I'd rather play Kobe Bryant, and it's because Jerry Buss is actually a very good poker player.
What's Jerry's best game? I've heard it's stud.
It might be stud, but I've never played stud with him. I'm not a stud player. But I will tell you, I've played limit hold'em with Jerry, and I've played no limit hold'em with Jerry, and his no limit game is way, way, way better than his limit hold'em game. Limit hold'em, sometimes he just likes to see he might just get into the mode of just throwing the chips in there because it's such a small amount. But no limit, he plays really well. I really like his no limit game.
Good deal. Dick Vitale or Chris Berman?
She booked, I'd say, over half the guests. I booked a very small, I'd say I booked maybe a quarter of the guests. And Jeremiah.
Chris Berman.
Chris Berman. Can you do an impression of Chris Berman going all in?
No, I couldn't. No. But again, part of the reason it would bring me some joy to beat him.
All right.
I like the guy, but I would enjoy beating him.
Too bad. Now, how far back do you go musically? Your musical taste pretty broad, man.
They're pretty broad. I go back a little bit. I got a little music in there.
All right. Freddie Mercury or Elton John?
I want to play Freddie Mercury just because I would just enjoy being around him, just getting to know who he is. That would have been great.
He was another fun party guy.
Is that right?
That's for sure.
I think I've heard that. I don't know if I'd want to party in his group of friends, but
Either way. Andy Beal or Donald Trump?
Some people might be annoyed that I do it twice, but it's the same thing. And I'm just doing this, and I'm like, I look real quick and he's not there, and I'm like,
yeah, I'd rather play with Donald Trump. he and I probably have a lot in common. We could talk about reality TV and maybe figure out some way for he and I to come up with a show of our own.
Make a little money. Barry or Doyle?
Somehow, I'd rather play Doyle. I'm not sure why. You know, maybe it's because I've played Barry plenty of times and I've never played Doyle. And playing heads up with Doyle is kind of exciting. In fact, you know what? I may get one of those matches next week in the NBC Heads Up.
Very much so.
Playing NBC Heads Up. I could be up against Barry or Doyle at any time.
Now we're gonna build one real quick off that. If you had to pick the Elite 8 right now, the people you know are in there, who do you think are going to be the Elite 8 of the NBC Heads Up Championship?
If I had to pick, I would say Patrick Antonius, Phil Ivey, Barry Greenstein, Heads Up, Chad Brown's in there, right?
Right.
Ted Forrest. I'm thinking of the people that I really don't want to be matched up with. Gavin Smith. Yeah. Am I still one short, two short?
Too short. You don't think you're going to make it?
Oh, for sure. I mean, I'm in there. I thought you were talking about 8 with me. Yeah, for sure. No, I will be in the Elite 8.
All right.
And then we'll throw in a wild card. Let's see Brad Garrett get in there.
That works. Okay. John-Robert-Bellande, thanks for taking the time with Lifes-a-Bluff. Hope things go real well
I really
for you,
enjoyed
sir.
it. I really enjoyed it. Might have exposed myself a little too much here, but
Well, that's what these are for, believe me. You know, it's slightly embarrassing. So.